Where'd you learn to speak the English, Tony?
I watch the guys like Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney. They teach me to talk. I like those guys.
The first 3.5 minutes of the movie are a documentary. That is what happened in Miami from April to October of 1980, is what plays out between the credits. And I remember being extremely young, but sitting at the kitchen table watching the local news at night, seeing these events unfold.
Fidel Castro mocked the government of this country by sending criminals. But among those bad people, there were great people too, which I knew a few of them. Like a few of my songs that I've recorded and have been very big hits were written by these two sisters that came in the Marielitos.
You know, myself being a Cuban refugee, knowing what the Cuban has to go through to get away from the clutches of communism, as my father did and my mother did. As a kid, I still remember going through like all the immigration offices and meetings and stuff like that, so that scene is in there too.
I always know one day I'm coming here, United States.
Just similar stuff, like I remember the day that we went to the office and they gave my dad all of our green cards and stuff, and boom, you know, and watching my mom start crying because, you know, we got to America.
It was funny that me and Stephen Bauer, Manolo, we both Cuban.
Let's do it, man, come on.
I was approached by some Cubans saying, you gotta tell the producer, Universal Studio, and who's the producer, Marty Breman, you gotta tell them that this movie, they gotta go easy on the Cuban, that's not right, you know? Yeah, I said, oh, sure, I will, you know, but me and Stephen, we know that it was a movie and did not represent all the Cubans.
Martin Bregman said when they began to get death threats, they realized it was time to shut this thing down and go to LA to film the rest of it.
We weren't anti-Cuban, we weren't anti-anything, we were looking to tell a story. And as time went on, the threats seemed to fade off into the distance, and I'm glad they did.
I know my people, we're not all a bunch of killers and dope dealers, so just watch the movie, man, for what it is. It's a movie about some shit that really happened.
Scarface is full of tension, and it's a movie that shows you how quickly violence can happen in that atmosphere.
I think in Scarface, the most visually designed was the whole motel sequence.
Okay. You want me to come in? We start over again, man?
There's a lot of little humor touches that add to the tension in the room.
You're gonna get to know me when you start doing business with me and stop fucking around, Hector.
These are played for almost comic touches in the beginning, so that when the chainsaw is pulled out, your initial reaction is to laugh because it's like, a chainsaw in the middle of this tiny motel room? Like, how is that even gonna work?
Sube volumen.
What De Palma did was actually quite controlled. And in that chainsaw scene, the way he leaves the motel and goes down to the car, and you're watching Manny talking to this girl, and you're just like, no, your friend's getting up there. Like, just like slowly, he really, really, really teases you.
The scene with the chainsaw, for me, when I saw that in the theater, was arguably one of the most frightening things I'd ever seen in a movie because it was so real.
Certainly it was a violent movie, although again it's so ironic. You look at that movie now and we've done things on Dexter that were more graphic than the chainsaw scene in Scarface, which was, you know, at the time people were running out of the theater, kind of was what we were being told.
Howdy leg, huh?
La scena della motosega, sicuramente molto pulp, splatter, anzi si direbbe. Ma io personalmente ho vissuto vicende, nel senso che ne ho letto nelle inchieste, ne ho scritto di vicende molto simili. Le bande di bielorussi nel sud Italia utilizzano il saldatore, ti inseriscono il saldatore nel sedere, lo accendono e ti dicono di parlare. Se tu più ritardi, più il saldatore diventa rovente e ti esplodono le budella. E questa è una cosa che è successa qualche anno fa nel sud Italia.
Chichi, ¿qué te llevo?
That word yayo messed me up forever because everywhere I walk in, any nightclub, any bar, I had to hear like 20 times a night, Chichi, get the yayo.
Está bien, Tony.
The end of the chainsaw scene, this incredible act of violence, this vicious act of violence right there outside the Beacon Hotel, which is, all those buildings are still there. They're all restored, beautiful Art Deco structures right there on Ocean Drive. It's this sleepy retirement village. It's God's waiting room. Episodes like that happened on an almost daily basis in Miami Beach at the time.
Another great night here at the Babylon, right? Okay.
Wherever I go, virtually, people will mention Scarface.
Is that coke in your bra? You just glad to see me.
Of all the things I've done, that's one of the things where people just, you know, they nod their head, you know, Babylon Club, or, you know.
So please give a warm Babylon welcome to the one and only Octavio.
I remember when I was a kid, my favorite scene was the scene in the Babylon Club where Octavio gets shot. And I was obsessed with Octavio, and I'd think, this poor guy, he just went to work that day, he just wanted to entertain, and now he's just getting shot up for absolutely no reason.
A federal judge was quoted as saying at the time, a very prominent one, that Miami was on the ragged edge of anarchy. And that was because we were being stretched to our limits with respect to crime, with respect to corruption, and murder.
After Loggia is killed, there's a kind of stopping point. The film fades to black, and then we see the rise of Tony.
Part one was an impressionistic film. Part two was an expressionistic film. They were totally different.
Push it to the limit. I mean, everybody likes an underdog story. As sinister as he is, that's part of what makes Tony Montana as likable as he is. I mean, America's built an entire country and culture on the concept of you can come here with nothing and the world is yours.
When people that come from nothing all of a sudden have a lot, you do overdo things. You overdress. You go and buy everything because you never had anything. So that's the way I saw it. I mean, yeah, it was like ridiculous, but they would do that.
It's a kind of very interesting, very quickly done portrait of a marriage. The idealism of the romance fades. The Michelle Pfeiffer figure, she's thoroughly disgusted with Tony.
Can't you stop saying fuck all the time?
Where did you go from, man?
There are kind of very funny lines in there.
I was only kidding!
And it's just this kind of portrait of decadence, and yet also a man who's become very paranoid.
Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me!
I voice in the movie is as much a satiric comment on capitalism and success and what it means to succeed and what happens to you when you succeed. He happens to be doing it as a killer drug dealer, but is he really that different from the banker in the movie who's laundering his money? Is he really that different from that shadowy government guy who's in that last meeting that they all have? It's really talking about American society a lot.
This what it's all about?
Forget it. Forget it.
This what I work for?
One of my favorite scenes, though, was the dinner scene when he's saying your womb is polluted.
Her womb is so polluted. I can't even have a fucking little baby with her.
And she says, I got Nick the pig.
As a friend. What kind of life is that?
Oh my God, you get like, you're so embarrassed, you're freaking out, but it's the demise. And there it is, right there at the restaurant.
And even now when I watch the movie, that's the hardest part of the movie to watch. Because, you know, that's the downfall of a guy you like. He's violent, but he's like the everyman in a weird way.
That whole speech that Pacino gives to the restaurant full of people saying you need the bad guy, so you can hide behind it because you're not that different from me. And to me, in some ways, that's the core of the movie.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
He pulls the covers off of polite society, and he says that polite society cannot exist with all of its extravagances and its luxury unless there is an influx of money coming in from the back door and the seedy side of town.
Me, I always tell the truth. even when I lie.
You know, he was a bad guy, let's face it, he was a bad guy, but one of the things that people like, especially the young kids nowadays, you know, the young gangsters, is that he had morals, he's some morals. Like that time he didn't want to kill a wife and kids in the car with a bomb, things like that.
Hey, no fucking way, that's it.
There's no code per se among the cocaine cowboys. They made it up as they went along.
Fucking guy.
Meaning it wasn't a code that was, you know, shared or traded among the cocaine criminals. But one of the things that turned out to be true was that whenever possible, you wanted to avoid killing children.
You die, motherfucker!
He drew the line, and that's honorable. You know what I mean? It's a great character to see him do that and draw the line. And of course, you can't do that in that game. You know, you got to go all the way. You go all the way or not at all. And he didn't go all the way.
I told you a long time ago, you fucking little monkey, not to fuck me. Hey, who the fuck do you think you're talking to, huh? You wanna fuck?
That's the beginning of the face down in a mountain of cocaine downfall. His face comes up and it's almost like a clown's mask of cocaine. It's laughable. And the first time I saw it, I thought, am I supposed to laugh? Should I laugh at this?
There's nothing about this that's unreal. I mean, I've seen piles of cocaine like that on tables. I've seen people with coke on their noses. I've seen them do incredibly silly things in the process of being stoned for 36 or 72 hours. So why people say, oh, you know, this mountain of coke, please.
Vámonos!
Al is one of those great actors who's never finished with his work. And so I imagine on Scarface, there was a constant experimentation. I bet he tried things every which way.
Say hello to my little friend here. Say hello to my little friend here. Oh! Say hello to my little friend here. Say hello to my little friend.
Tony Montana at the top of the stairs with his guns. I mean, that is one of the most badass scenes for one of the most badass characters in cinema history.
I Tony Montana! You fuck with me, you fucking with the back.
Just being shot up, come on, and just taking the bullets and daring them to shoot him again.
I take your fucking bullet!
That was what we all waited for. It was this incredible denouement, this amazing climax.
Ultimately, the message of all these stories is the same, which is that if you were in the drug trade in Miami at that time, or you're a criminal, you wind up either dead or in jail.